Do it again, do it again.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 18 of The Other People. Andy, guess what?
We're a year old.
We're officially a year old, and it's only taken us this long to get to episode 18, because when we originally started this show, it wasn't going to be a weekly show. It was just going to be whenever the fuck it was I felt like recording it. So, yeah, and here we are. It's a year later, 18 episodes, and we still don't really have a fan base. But we don't have any haters. We don't really have anything. So why are we still doing this again?
I don't know.
Why are we even doing this? Really, in the first place, is another question that should be asked. Like, why are you even doing this? Like, because we enjoy talking about nerdy shit and recording it and then posting it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
it's something to waste time.
Well, gives us opportunities to nerd out on shit that we care about, or nerd rage about shit that we care about or don't like, or whatever, really. So, and so for the last few days, I was racking my brain trying to figure out what can we possibly talk about, and I couldn't think of anything because I've just been so damn tired these last few days. I'm just so damn busy. With work, and then trying to edit my review of Watch Dogs, well, my quote-unquote review of Watch Dogs. Mm-hmm. I would hope to have that posted probably tonight, or probably tomorrow, more than likely, because it's such a painful process. I have to actually try to edit with the editor that I have, because as I've said before on numerous videos, it's a piece of shit. So today, and every time I try to use the internet to try to look up, is there any interesting video game related or movie news out there? No, just random articles about, oh, hey, did you hear about such and such doing such and such with such and such? Like, that's not really interesting. That's just weird internet gossip. That's not news. But so anyway, I said, okay, fuck it. Let's just take a look.
It could always be like Fox News and turn it into news.
I don't want to be like Fox News. I would like whatever it is I'm talking about to, in some way, maybe be a fact.
Yeah. Oh, come on. If you say it enough times, it becomes fact.
No, it doesn't.
I know.
I thought we were going to have like a fake argument. Oh, well.
Oh.
Damn it, Andy!
Well, we was, but I ran out of stuff to argue about.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, I mean, you could have just done the childish thing of the, yes, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is! And then eventually...
No, I never think of that until after the bit's over.
Oh, well. Well, so anyway, for this episode, I decided, fuck it. Let's just look up what new games and movies are supposed to be coming out for next year. And I got myself a nice couple of little lists, and there are a couple of games on here that we can talk about. So, do you want to do game lists first, or do you want to do the movie list first?
Whichever you feel like doing. I don't care.
All right. Well, both of these lists come from the Wikipedia page, so I'm not sure how factually accurate this may be. So we'll see.
Because it is Wikipedia, after all.
Well, I mean, as far as I know, Wikipedia has never really been wrong. But, Also, it's the internet, so... Yeah. But either way, we're all too lazy to really know, and to really look too much to try and really look too much into the truth would probably involve way too much work to find out that, oh, this really doesn't matter. Who cares? So anyway... the first game that's mentioned on here is American Truck Simulator, which raises the question of people still make driving simulation games? But
didn't they already do American Truck Simulator, and it got on X-Slays not even a game list, but I think their Golden Mullet Award thing, because it basically wasn't a game.
I'm not sure if that was it. I know there was a truck driving racing game that was called one of the worst games that was ever made. It was that same one that I know that was mentioned on XPlay, where they made fun of the winner tag that comes up that says "You are winner."
Oh yeah.
And that was a game that was made in the early aughts.
Yeah.
And also, speaking of which, the Angry Video Game Nerd, he did a video on that game. And there's no point in competing on that game. You can't lose. Because the computer-controlled vehicle, it never moves. And,
oh, nice!
And there's
so
no
you
other
could basically do nothing.
Yeah. You can drive through everything. Like, nothing happens. Like, everything is just a framework. Like, you can drive through buildings. You can drive through light poles. You can drive completely over vertical cliffs. You can fall through bridges, but you won't die. You can drive through fictional water. You can drive backwards into hyperspace. No joke. He actually does that. And he proceeds to go faster backwards than he ever does when he's just going straight.
Nice.
And this was a finished project. I mean, this was released. This was sold in stores. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the actual fuck? But whatever. It's like
anyway.
Jesus, really? So American Truck Simulator. It's coming out for the Windows. It's a vehicle simulation, which just kind of raises the question again. Like, people still make driving simulation games, but oh well.
Apparently so.
Because the only other one I remember was there was another driving simulation game I remember playing on the PC a long time ago. In like the mid to early 90s. And I remember it, being cool and feeling like a real thing. Of course, you go back to it now, the controls for it are utterly god-awful, because if they want to say, like, oh, this is a driving sim, driving is not that goddamn hard. Your vehicle does not voluntarily try to force you off the road to kill you.
Yeah.
And anyway...
Now, the other people out on the road, maybe. But that's just because they suck.
Maybe. Unless you're in, the Road Warrior movie, maybe that might happen. Maybe.
Yeah.
Next on this list is another Crackdown sequel, Crackdown 3, coming out only for the Xbone.
The Xbone?
Yeah, the Xbox One. That's what a lot of people are calling it. I played the first Crackdown. I couldn't really get into it. Did you ever play it?
Yeah, I actually owned it there for a while. And yeah, and kind of like you, I kind of couldn't really get into it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just kind of, okay, so I can run around taking out bad guys. Okay, yeah. I guess that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. I heard Crackdown 2 is pretty good, but I didn't really play that much of them. I did like how like overly superpowered you were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that could be kind of fun. Next on the list is Cyberpunk 2077. And that's coming out for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Windows. It's an action role-playing game, and I'm trying to look up information on it. It's not saying much other than it is based, excuse me, that it is based on a tabletop role-playing game, I guess, of the same name. I'm wondering.
Interesting.
I'm wondering if this is in any way, shape, or form related to Shadowrun, but I don't think so, because it just says it's a dystopian futuristic world in which ultra-modern technology coexists with a degenerated human society, and that's not Shadowrun. Although, well, I mean, it's kind of like Shadowrun, only Shadowrun also involves elves, trolls, humans, magic, and cyber technology. So maybe when we hear a lot more about that, I can get maybe a lot more interested. I will say this: with the past E3, all the other stuff that I saw that was coming out for the PlayStation 4 really did make me think, you know what? I think I really do want a PlayStation 4 now. And I may try to save up to try to get one maybe around Christmas. So,
yeah,
we'll see.
I know I can't remember if we've had this discussion before, but it just seems like Microsoft is really banking on their whole multiple media thing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
with the Xbox One.
Well, lately,
where Sony is baking on actual games.
Yeah. Well, and lately, Xbox, they have been backpedaling on a lot of the bullshit that they were selling. Like, recently, they made the Xbox One now available without Kinect, and they lowered the price by $100.
Yeah, because they kind of realized Kinect doesn't really work.
Well, it's also the fact, too, that nobody wanted Kinect with the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Nobody really wanted one. And plus, I mean, that apparently made the Xbox One $100 more expensive than the PlayStation 4.
Mm-hmm.
So
they kind of did the same thing Sony did with the PlayStation 3 at first.
Yeah, where they were really riding high on themselves and they didn't listen, and they tried to force this down our throats and nobody wanted it. It's like, well, shit. So it's a very interesting twist in how that happened.
Yeah.
And so next on the list is Dishonored 2, coming out for Windows, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. I played Dishonored. I couldn't really get into it. I know there is a lot more interesting gameplay in it. And again, lately, my attention span for a lot of games has been really limited. So, did you play
because you
Dishonored?
actually have a job and things that you've got to do, and you can't sit around all day playing a video game.
Well, technically, I can. Well, I mean, hell, if I'm willing to do several Let's Plays on a shit ton of different demo games, then I should have plenty of time, to sit down and play a game. But you do have to be in the mood, to actually want to sit down and play a game.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like your Skyrim dilemma, to where you'll start playing it for a little while and then get disinterested.
Yeah.
Really quickly.
Yeah. You really do have to be in the right mindset to want to sit down and actually, play a game. If you have to force yourself to play a game, you're probably really not going to enjoy yourself, and more especially depending on the game.
Yeah.
Like if you sit down and force yourself to play a JRPG where the first hour is nothing but tutorial bullshit that you can't skip, you're just going to be like, oh my god, fuck this game, I don't care.
Yeah.
And you're going to get frustrated and annoyed. And let's say it's a good, JRPG game. Let's say I went into that same mindset playing Dragon Quest VIII, and I barely got through.
You kind of almost did.
Yeah, where I go through the first hour, and I get really, really bored and frustrated, and just be like, oh, fuck this game.
You kind of did, but you actually sat down, you gave it a chance, and now you're starting to like it more and more.
Yeah. Well, that did happen very early on, while I was playing it, that I was getting into it.
Yeah.
All right, and next on the list is Doom 4, which they recently retitled as just being Doom, meaning it's another reboot. Because, bear in mind...
Yeah, basically Doom 3 was a reboot too, wasn't it?
Yep, it was. This is coming out for Windows, PlayStation 4, and the Xbox One. All they really showed was kind of a teaser trailer for it. They didn't show a lot of details for it. I might play it when it comes out. I mean, I did enjoy Doom 3 when I first played it.
Except for like the whole having to do the flashlight thing and then shoot a gun and then flashlight.
Yeah, that shit was stupid.
Yeah, that was just kind of bullshit.
I actually like how I guess in the BFG edition for Doom 3, they make it where that I believe you can have your flashlight and your gun out at the same time in the BFG edition.
Nice.
I'm not sure exactly how that fully works.
Yeah, maybe it's like something like the duct tape mod they had for the PC version, to where you could actually just duct tape the flashlight to your gun.
Yeah, that was something that I thought was kind of funny, where basically, PC, yeah, we solved that problem. Something that everybody was saying, like, it's the freaking future. Why can't you just have a flashlight on your gun?
Yeah, and then of course people added other flashlights, like they had the bat signal, the Thundercat symbol, and various other things. I think even one guy even had the Superman symbol.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Next couple of games on the list. One is Earth No More. It's a first-person shooter coming out for all consoles. Produced by Royter Group, formerly by 3D Realms. That doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
Video game the developer is Recoil Games. What have they done? Let's see. They have the page has been deleted. Okay, that's not helpful.
That's a good sign there.
Earth No More opens in a small New England town, quarantined due to a mysterious outbreak. Poisonous red vines have been sprouting quickly, similar to the redweed in the War of the Worlds. Okay. In June 2012, Earth No More appeared on several websites. Okay, so this game is technically already 2 years old, and it's still in development. That's not a good sign.
No. If it was being done by Blizzard, then that might actually be a good sign. But it's not.
Yeah. There's Fable Legends. Is this like a collation of all the games, or is this actually going to be a different... is an upcoming cooperative role-playing game in the Fable series. The game is set 400 years before the events of the first game, so it's a prequel. Jesus. Okay. Yeah. I did enjoy Fable 1.
I did it first.
Yeah.
But then, like, in retrospective, I've gone back and played it again, and it don't age well.
No. No.
And especially the battle mechanic. The fact that you can actually accidentally hit an ally.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And you will do it almost constantly, too. Not even on purpose.
Right.
Where controller will just all of a sudden target an ally for no apparent reason, and you'll start wailing on them.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Well, I haven't played... I haven't replayed Fable in a long time. So... But
I still find myself enjoying Fable 2, and occasionally Fable 3. I know a lot of people don't necessarily like Fable 3. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. And this is only coming out for the Xbox One. And then next is, I believe that's Final Fantasy 15, which I saw a trailer for. I find it interesting that the combat... it's not going to be turn-based or anything like that. It's a lot more fast-paced, kind of like the Kingdom Hearts battle system.
Is that the one to where it looks like they might have actually listened to the fans and done something different?
Well, from what I understand, one of the most recent Final Fantasy games, it was supposed to be another Final Fantasy Versus game, but instead they did Final Fantasy 13-3, Lightning Returns, because everybody was screaming for that one. And I guess 15 is taking the mechanic of the Versus series, only it's going to be its own Final Fantasy game. I'm not sure what exactly that all will entail. I know what I saw in the trailer actually made me go, oh, okay. Well, at least it looks like they're doing something a little bit different with the combat.
Yeah.
So at least that has me a little interested. I will check it out when it comes out. It's coming out for PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. So, and then up next is Furious 4, which I'm assuming is maybe related to Fast and Furious. Maybe it's not. It actually says it's a first-person shooter, so I guess not. Brothers in Arms Furious 4. It's made by Ubisoft and developed by Gearbox. Huh. All Gearbox makes is first-person shooters. That's all they make.
Hey, they seem to, yeah.
Somebody said that, I guess from some of the, maybe from some of the story elements that they were seeing with this game, they were making comparisons to Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards, which I still haven't seen.
I haven't either. I haven't really been that interested in it, but...
Let's see.
That's just me.
Yeah. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. At least it looks like it'll be its own title. It's not based off of anything.
That's good.
Well, I say that. Well, I mean, Duke Nukem Forever was not Gearbox's fault. That was 3D Realms' fault. Aliens Colonial Marines, you probably kind of knew was going to suck because that was a game that had been in development hell for so long.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard about it being in development for that long until I heard about it on Spoonie's website some time ago. And I saw a trailer for it and I thought, I don't know. Mostly just because the last Aliens-related game that I was excited about was the last Aliens versus Predator.
Yeah. And
I was really disappointed by that.
Disappointed with it.
Yeah. So I don't know. This sounds like a somewhat original IP, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Comes out for all consoles, Windows, PS4, and Xbox One. Up next is Hitman 6. And I played quite a bit of Hitman Absolution, and that was a pretty fun game. Did you play any of the Hitman games, Andy?
No, I've certainly heard of them, but never really tried any of them. And just wasn't that big of a stealth game person back then.
Yeah.
Still kind of isn't, but I certainly understand the appeal of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in Hitman Absolution, you could choose to go stealth, or you could just say fuck it and just gun down everybody who got in your way.
Yeah, but doesn't it kind of want you to go stealth, though?
Well, it gives you the decision of like, oh, hey, would you like to go stealthy, or would you just like to murder everybody?
Let's see. Stealthy murder everybody.
Hell, I did a whole Let's Play on, I'm just going to murder everybody. And it was just kind of fun. Kill them all! Kill them all! Yeah, it was quite a bit of fun. And that too is coming out for all consoles. And then there's another game on here that's listed as Well, there are 3 games that are on this list that are written to be announced for what systems are coming out.
Hmm.
Or this one's called Insane. It's a survival horror game. Look it up. It is developed by Volition in collaboration with film director Guillermo del Toro.
Ah.
Being developed by Microsoft Studios, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. Insane was first announced. Oh my god. This
It's
game,
been in development hell for a while, hasn't it?
it was, well, it looks like it was originally announced during the 2010 Spike Video Game Awards.
Okay.
So it's about 4 years old.
Ugh. That's not good.
Comic book artist Guy Davis was one of the key designers of the game. He's previously worked on Del Toro's design for At the Mountains of Madness, which was something else that was based off of the Cthulhu series, but that never saw the light of day.
Yeah.
So, again, I don't know, and seeing as how it's listed as to be announced, and there's not a lot of info on this, I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Next on the list is Kingdom Hearts 3. I played Kingdom Hearts 1. Really, Andy?
No, I'm kidding.
I played the first Kingdom Hearts game. I did enjoy it. I couldn't beat it. I thought the last boss was a cheap piece of shit, and I quit. It's coming up for PlayStation 4.
I know there's like a bunch of fanboys for Kingdom Hearts. That's why I put it in the finally thing.
Okay.
They've been clamoring for Kingdom Hearts 3 pretty much since Kingdom Hearts 2 ended.
Yeah. I think the only thing that really annoys me about the Kingdom Hearts series was I tried playing the Kingdom Hearts 2 game on the console. I don't remember who it was. It might have been our friend Matt who told me, have you played the other Kingdom Hearts games? No? Then you're not going to know what the fuck is going on. Oh, really? Like, yeah, because the game's not going to tell you anything unless you played the other game. Like, well, that's stupid. But, oh well, whatever. But I played the first Kingdom Hearts game. I did enjoy it. Lost a lot of interest, though.
Yeah.
And that's coming out for PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Up next, this is another game that's been in development hell for a long time. The Last Guardian.
Okay.
I like how it says, and I like how it's on this list. And even I and various other game enthusiasts will say, bullshit! This game was originally supposed to come out last year, and then it was originally supposed to come out the year before, and it still hasn't. This is another game that's made by the same company who brought us Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. I remember I played a little bit of Eco. I couldn't get that far in it because I didn't know what I was supposed to do or where I was supposed to go. Have you played either of those games?
I played the demo for Shadow of Colossus. And it was certainly interesting enough, but I couldn't quite figure out how to get up the Colossus without losing my grip.
Okay.
Because you're like supposed to climb the Colossus to get to the point where you can stab him until that point, and then climb up to another point and stab him,
Yeah.
And keep doing that until he dies. And that's pretty much the entire game, is that you're tracking down these 7 Colossuses.
Yeah. I still have the free versions of both of those games on my PS3. I haven't played them. I would like to, so we shall see. I've actually been kind of debating, like, should I do Let's Play videos on those, or should I just play them on my own time, or, I don't know. We'll see. So,
from what I kind of understand, Shadow of Colossus is kind of the prequel to Eco.
Yeah.
It basically kind of sets up the whole eco thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't really know a lot of the information, so I'm just going to have to go by your word.
Yeah.
And then...
Heard.
Yeah. And then next on the list is Mass Effect 4, which is only listed to be announced for what system it's coming out for.
Mass Effect 4. How can they do a Mass Effect 4?
Yeah. Well, as I understand it, there was going to be another Mass Effect game that was going to take place maybe in a different time and with a different character. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. The series, games, main trilogy, Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3, downloadable content, trilogy edition, spin-offs, expanded universe, novels, comic books, films. Yeah, bullshit. If that's mentioned in 2010, I don't think it's ever going to see being released. Action
Probably
figures, characters. It doesn't list anything in here about a Mass Effect 4. And even though I clicked on it, it doesn't actually list Mass Effect 4 game information or anything like that.
Huh.
Okay, so maybe they're working on one.
Or maybe someone's just bullshitting with us.
I want a Mass Effect 4 game. Make it happen. I don't know.
I just, based off of how they ended Mass Effect 3, I can't see how there can be a Mass Effect 4.
Yeah. I mean, they pretty
Unless
much...
they, go back way before Shepard ever got involved.
Yeah, and in which case this couldn't be a Mass Effect 4.
Yeah,
this would be
it'd be a prequel.
Yeah, and that's what everybody really wants. Just,
prequel.
Yeah. Oh, we're out of ideas. I'll tell you what, let's go back in time and just fuck up the series even more. Yeah!
I'm looking at you, Lucas!
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of how I feel, too, about those Force Unleashed games.
Yeah.
I just don't have any interest in them. But anyway, next on this list is Mirror's Edge 2. It's coming out for Windows, PS4, and the Xbox One. I actually have Mirror's Edge on my 360. Played quite a bit of it, and I think it's a pretty damn good game.
Mm-hmm.
People have wanted a Mirror's Edge 2 for a long time. So, and they're finally
getting one.
So, well, we'll see. We shall see. Up next is Metal Gear Solid 5: Phantom Pain, coming out for all systems, including
the pain,
the Phantom Pain in my balls. This is also coming out for last gen. I don't care. I stopped caring about Metal Gear a long time ago.
Yeah,
maybe I'll
suck my cock now.
Granted, I did buy the Metal Gear, the Legacy Collection, which is like the entire series up until 4. I have played a little bit of 4. I do like how they fixed up a lot of the gameplay mechanics for it. I don't like a lot of the story conspiracy, overly ridiculous bullshit that they started doing. Namely, that started happening with 2 and then got really exaggerated with 3. Because 3 was really my dropping off point where I was like, I'm done. I don't want anything more to do with this series. So,
like, fuck this series.
Kind of. That was kind of my feeling for it.
Yeah.
And I played the demo for Ground Zeroes, as a lot of people did. $20 for a demo. Go fuck yourself.
Yep.
Konami
kind of pulled a Capcom there on you.
Well, and let's also kind of face facts too. Metal Gear Solid 2 demo, you had to buy Zone of the Enders, which was probably a $60 game. Granted, Zone of the Enders is a good game.
Yeah, it was actually worth it.
And it did come with a free demo copy of Metal Gear Solid 2 that I played the shit out of, because I was actually really excited for a Metal Gear Solid 2 sequel, because I loved Metal Gear Solid, and I still do. So, and I can understand people's anticipation, because there are still a lot of fans out there for the Metal Gear Solid series. I always just find it funny how for the last couple of years there have been some stories out there that Kojiyama wishes that he could work on something else.
And yet he keeps doing Metal Gear stuff.
Well,
he's the creator of it. He could stop if he wanted to.
And he owns Konami now. He owns the game company, which just kind of raises the question of like, so why don't you stop and just do something else? No, you're going to keep doing the Metal Gear. Well, then that's on you, dude. I mean, you could choose.
The fans won't let me. It's like, yeah, there's going to be people that are disappointed, but there's going to be people like me and Jordan that kind of want you to do new shit. We'd be happy to see new shit.
I would be curious to see like what new game series or franchise could he start doing that's not at all related to Metal Gear in any way. That's that maybe still is a self-action game, but is really toned down. That was why I really loved Splinter Cell when I played it, because it wasn't Metal Gear. Yeah, it was still a self-action game, but it was a lot more realistic and wasn't exaggerated in any way. And that was why I really enjoyed it. All right, so next on the list is Nosgoth, which I told you about.
Oh, yeah.
It's
I'm kind of disappointed about.
This was the big, well, supposedly, I don't know if they do plan on doing something that is more closely related to the Legacy of Kain series than this bullshit. It's the same fucking thing they did with Shadowrun, where it's an online multiplayer and that's it.
And get you all excited. It's like, hey, Shadowrun's like, oh, it's an online multiplayer first-person shooter. Well, fuck!
Over to your mom.
Okay.
All right. Pizzas.
Okay.
Thanks, honey.
All right, I'm going to have to edit that bit out, sadly. All right, anyway, I'm sorry. Would you mind repeating what it was that you said? So that I can just edit back to that.
Yeah, it was just kind of like the whole Shadowrun thing where it's like, yeah, I'm really excited. And then it's like, wait, it's a multiplayer first-person shooter? Well, fuck.
Yeah, I like how there was no offline single-player. Well, there was, but you were just playing with other AI opponents, and there was no.
Yeah, there was no story to it whatsoever.
There was nothing to it, and as far as I'm concerned, other than humans, elves, and dwarves, and trolls being in it, there was no other relation to Shadowrun.
Yeah. There wasn't any hacking or anything like that.
There was no story, there were no quests, there were no Mr. Johnsons or anything like that. It was just that. Of course, this latest Shadowrun game that is currently out, although they did say that game was more closely related to the Super Nintendo version of Shadowrun, which again had no Mr. Johnsons or anything like that. I do wonder if there is any Matrix hacking in it, though. I haven't played a lot of it. I have enjoyed what I've played of it. I do hope that there will be another Shadowrun game that will come out in the future that will be a lot more related to the Sega Genesis version of Shadowrun, because that was the better version as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, this Nosgoth game is basically vampires versus hunters is what the game's going to be. It's going to be an online multiplayer sort of clans game. I don't care. I really don't care. And the fact that this is what they're doing that's supposed to be related to the Legacy of Kain series, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
This is not what I want as a Legacy of Kain fan.
No, we want another Legacy of Kain game.
And it's only coming out for PC, so which also just further says I'm not going to play it. So, well, and recently, I don't know if my computer can play those type of more fast-paced and heavily graphic style games, because I tried playing a demo of a first-person game called Shadow Warrior. Actually, it was a remake of a game with a similar title and similar plot details and such, and my computer could not handle it at all. It's like, oh, well, it wasn't crashing on me. The frame rate on it was terrible. And it was just like, oh, wow, shit. Okay, my PC can't play this. That really sucks, because I really want to play that game, too. But from what I've heard, it might be coming out for the PS4 sometime later. So, which is just more further evidence, like, I need to get myself a PlayStation 4. God damn it. And then...
you suckered me again!
No, I don't want to have to upgrade to a new console. No.
But you want to, Jordan. You need to.
You know you want to delve into all those brand new high-definition, fast-paced graphics. Okay. My microphone tastes really gross. The next game on this list is Prey 2. I have not played the previous Prey game.
Neither.
Coming out for Windows, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. Next is Primal Carnage Genesis. Is this? No, it's not related to Primal Rage, also because it's a first-person shooter. Does it involve dinosaurs? In any way? Development and publisher is Lukewarm Media. I've never heard of them. So, it's going to be multiplayer, focused Primal Carnage. Genesis takes place in the world where, so it will involve dinosaurs. This makes me think of more of a Turok game, and there already was a Turok game some odd years ago for the Xbox 360. I don't really remember if that game was good or not. I think I played a demo for it. I couldn't really get into it. I don't know. We'll see. Next is Scalebound, coming up for Xbox One. Never heard of it. It's action adventure. Is a Japan-based independent video game development company. We founded under the name Seeds Inc. on August 1st, 2006. This is based on a previous game. Who's making this? Okay, it doesn't really say. But I guess it's made by Platinum Games, who are the same guys who made Bayonetta. Of course, I couldn't really get into Bayonetta. Bayonetta to me was
she's basically a female Dante.
Kind of, yeah. In fact, when I was first playing Bayonetta, I kept on thinking, like, this feels like a Capcom game with, the over-exaggeration and, and shit like that. And just like, I don't care. I'm sorry. I just don't care. So yeah. Next is Sleeping Dogs Triad War. Windows,
Mhm.
PlayStation 4, Xbox One. I didn't play the first Sleeping Dogs game. I heard it was good. Did you play it at all, or?
No, I did not.
All right.
Hmm.
So we don't have much to say on that one. Pardon me. And then we got 3 more titles on here. Next up is the next StarCraft 2 expansion, Legacy of the Void.
Ooh.
And I think, is that meant to, no, I don't think that's a human campaign. I think that's the other alien campaign, correct?
I have no idea.
Yeah, because I know the latest 2 campaigns, the first one was the first game itself, which was the human campaign. I know this would be called something else. I can't remember what. And then next was what's the alien horde called in StarCraft?
The Scourge?
Yeah,
No. Something like that. I'm not entirely sure.
I think it was called the Scourge or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so this is the next coming expansion of StarCraft 2. I would love to play StarCraft 2. I just don't know if my computer can handle it.
Yeah.
It probably couldn't. And then next is a game called They, which is another game that is written as to be announced for what's coming out for. It's a first-person shooter. Let me see if I can look up any info on it. First-person shooter, formerly under development of Metropolis Software, but then CD Projekt Red purchased. I'm familiar with the name CD Projekt Red. What have they done? They did. They're the same company who made The Witcher, which I heard is a really good game. I would like to play it. It's actually The Witcher 2, which is the most latest game in that series, is available on the download system for like $20. I would really like to play it, but I spent too much money on it.
From what I understand, it's actually very adult.
Well, yeah, that too.
I mean, really adult. It's practically a porno.
Well, I understand that there's quite a bit of nudity, and there's also some sex scenes in there too. Which is just like, okay, I don't really give a shit, but okay. I mean, because if I want that...
I mean, there's like good gameplay and a good story in there and everything. It's just very adult contented.
Yeah. Which, I don't care. I mean, hell, if we want our video games to be taken a bit more seriously, let them be a little bit more adult. I don't care. So that could be a good sign. I just wish I knew a little bit more. The single-player campaign is up to 12 hours long with a story-driven setting. Multiplayer coincides with deathmatch. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And then finally, Tom Clancy's End War Online. So, Windows only, real-time tactics. Don't care. Sorry, just don't care.
It's just not our kind of game, man.
Well, the only Tom Clancy games I ever played, there was Splinter Cell, which I really loved, and then there was one of the Ghost Recon games. I want to say it was Ghost Recon 2 that I played for the PlayStation 2, I believe, and it took me forever to beat the first damn mission on that game. Because that's another one of those games where you play a small military group of like 4 guys. Each one is geared with different weaponry. Like you have a semi-close quarters combat soldier. You have a mid-range, and then you have a long range. And all you need to do is just be shot once, and that character dies. So it's all based around like real tactics and real uh, uh, sort of
Go in there all gun ho, and it's just like, I won't get you off. Fuck.
yeah, where you have to be very tactical and you have to be and you have to be very smart and you have to be very very patient. Not a very good game, but I did kind of get into it, but I didn't get very far.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Patient. How dare they make me be patient?
Well, that can work for some people. If you're coaxed into the game pretty well, you could kind of get into it. I mean, I only got into Splinter Cell because I got really tired of how ridiculous Metal Gear was getting. And that was
the conspiracy theories and the over-the-top action scenes and
yeah, and just how overly stupid the story was getting. And Splinter Cell was a stealth action game that was more realistic, where you could not be seen by your enemies, and if you did kill anybody without orders, the mission would end.
Mm-hmm.
And you could be killed very easily.
Mm-hmm.
But so could your enemies in return. But you were so lightly armed as well, because, again, it was a stealth mission.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to go back and play some Splinter Cell. I don't remember if there's an HD collection out there. I think there is. So, maybe. I was actually going to say earlier, while we were talking about Mass Effect, that because I own the first two Mass Effect games and have been debating about getting Mass Effect 3, I was thinking maybe sometime after we finish doing our Let's Play of Dragon Quest VIII, I was thinking, how about we do a full Let's Play of the Mass Effect series?
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, with our own...
Something I actually know quite a bit about and have actually beaten all three games.
Mm-hmm. And we could take our own sort of created female Shepard, because I prefer the female persona, mostly because the voice acting is better.
The male Shepard is okay. I mean, the guy doing it works, but the female just puts more heart to it.
Yeah. All right, well, how about we take a break, and then we will come back and we will talk about the movies list that I have on here, which are a few on here that we can talk a bit more in depth about, I think. Yeah. What do you think?
Works for me.
All right, everybody, stay tuned. We will be right back. All right, and we are back. Now on to the movie list. The first one...
Are we back, or did we not disappear? Never mind, I kind of screwed up my own bit there.
That's okay, as we are so very much accustomed to doing. The first movie on this list, I tried to look up information for, but it wouldn't really give me much. The short little cast list that's on here, it doesn't really say when this film is coming out. It's just titled Amityville, which I know is obviously related to the Amityville horror film series. And if we all remember, there was an Amityville horror remake some odd years ago. I'm guessing, is this just
They're
another
trying to remake it again?
I guess the director is Frank Cafian. I've never heard of, and kind of good reason. He did he did a film called P2, and when I saw the trailer for it, I went, that looks stupid. Wrong Turn at Toho, and he did do the remake of the film Maniac, which I heard kind of a few mixed reviews on it. I don't know. Next on that list, actually, let's talk a bit more about Amityville. Did you watch the remake of Amityville Horror?
No, I didn't. I couldn't really get into it because I didn't really get into the original.
Mm-hmm. And as I understand it, the whole quote unquote true story of the Amityville Horror, as I understand it, was recently just dismissed as bullshit.
Yeah, it was kind of fake. It kind of turned out that basically the people that owned the house kind of made it up.
Well, and also,
yes, there were some murders there, but it was done by one very disturbed son.
Yeah, and who, as I understand it from his own testimony, he was on a shit ton of drugs.
Oh yeah.
When it all happened.
Oh yeah.
And that when it happened,
he can't even get his own story straight.
Yeah, like he originally claimed that the mob did it, or something like that, and then he just came home to it. And
yeah, and then he tried to claim no, I did it, but it was totally in self-defense because my parents were abusive and blah 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 blah. I'm just like, dude, really?
Yeah. And I actually watched the remake because I remember hearing a lot of details about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I forget the name of the actor. He started out as a comedic actor. He was recently in the Green Lantern movie. That was a bit of a bomb.
Yeah.
He also played Deadpool.
Uh-huh.
Help me out here, Andy. What's his name?
Oh. I want to say Brian Reynolds, but I'm not entirely sure if that's correct.
That's it.
Okay.
Ryan Reynolds. He's very bland in it. He's so bland.
I don't know. I've seen him in a few things, and it's just kind of...
Well, and I mean, in the Amityville Horror remake, he was so bland. And even when he was trying to be threatening, he just came off as bland.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm thinking to myself, where's this amazing performance I heard about from you fucking people? I don't see anything in this. I just see Blandy McBland. This is bullshit. And, yeah, I just didn't care.
On top of bullshit.
with an extra side of shit and pickles.
Pickles.
Next is a film called Kitchen Sink.
Okay.
Which is it's a comedy horror movie directed by Robbie. There's no link for his name, so I'm guessing he probably hasn't done that much. Looks like Vanessa Hudgens is a familiar name, and Bob Odenkirk, who was the same guy who made what was the name of his kung fu comedy film? I own it, but I can't remember it because I don't want to.
Kung Pao?
Yes, thank you. Because I was afraid I was going to confuse it with the Kung Fu Hustle movie, and those are.
Yeah, that was kind of the first thing. The problem was no, wait a minute. I don't think that's the guy Jordan's talking about.
No. Which are similar films. I mean, they both are Kung Fu comedies, but Kung Pao was a lot more exaggerated.
Yeah, Kung Pao is kind of more of a parody of a Kung Fu movie. Yeah. To where Kung Fu Hustle was a Kung Fu movie that just happened to have comedy in it.
Yeah. Let's look this up. Kitchen Sink is an upcoming American comedy horror film directed by Robbie Pickering, written by this tells me Nothing. Nothing about the plot. Nothing about what the movie is even about. Okay, fine.
So they don't even know.
Then I don't know. I don't care. I guess we'll find out later. Next, Jesus. Taken 3.
What, 3?
Taken.
Kicking. Okay.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was hearing kicking. I'm like, what the hell is kicking?
It's the Liam Neeson, They Abducted My Daughter movie.
Yeah, I know what kicking is.
Yeah. Saw the first one, liked the first one, heard about the second one, didn't care. Now they're doing a third.
Yeah.
So these people...
You would think at this point the guys would know not to take his fucking daughter.
Like, dude, he fucked you up.
It's Liam Neeson, man. He knows 100 ways to kill you with his finger alone.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, he told you he has a very specific set of skills.
And they're all about killing you.
So that's being made, and I don't care. Next is a film called Cyber. It's a thriller. It's being directed, screenplay and directed by Michael Mann, which is interesting, because I've liked quite a few of his films. It's also starring Chris Hemsworth. I believe it's the same actor as before.
Pardon me.
Let's see. These are all films that are scheduled to come out in January as well. Cyber is a tentative title of an upcoming film written and directed by Michael Mann. After a case of high-level computer hacking arises, American and Chinese military forces work together to stop it. So Chris Hemsworth described it as sort of cat-and-mouse international heist thriller. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see when it comes out.
Yeah.
Next, The Man from UNCLE, that's how it's written. The Man from Uncle.
Okay.
It's a Guy Ritchie film starring Henry Cavill, who was the man who played the new Superman, as well as Hugh Grant and a few other people. It's action-adventure. A couple other films here. The Wedding Ringer, directed by somebody I've never heard of. Kevin Hart, Josh Gad. I think this is the Will Ferrell movie, I think. No, never mind. That was a different movie I was reading about that was starring Will Ferrell. I don't know. Next, The Boy Next Door, Rob Cohen movie. It's a thriller. Jennifer Lopez is going to be in it. The only movie of hers I've seen was that movie Enough. And that was a really hard sit that I don't want to go through again. Not because the film was horrible or anything like that, but because any movie that's about marital abuse is a pretty hard
At least she kicked the crap out of him there at the end.
Yeah, but that was at the end of the movie. Like, why couldn't that happen sooner? You know? I mean, God, that guy needed he needed to be destroyed. Guy was in...
He pretty much did.
Yeah. She just didn't kill him, though, which was the sad part. But he will be doing time. He will be doing a shit ton of time and getting his ass fucked every single day.
Oh, yeah.
So
by some big burly guy named Bubba.
You my little puppet now, bitch. Oh, no. Papa, no what? Alright. The Boy Next Door. Thriller. Next is Lazarus. Again, directed and seemed to be... it's starring Olivia Wilde. It's a horror film. There's no link for it, so I can't look up what the movie's about. Next is a film called Max, adventure family film, directed by Boaz Yankin. who has done what? Filmography. He did the '89 version of Punisher. He did From Dusk Till Dawn 2, Dirty Dancing Havana Nights, Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time.
I haven't seen that one. Didn't hear anything good though.
Yeah, not a lot of good. Well, those were his writing credits. His directing credits are Remember the Titans, which was that football.
That one's okay.
Yeah. So he's got maybe one good movie under his belt.
Yeah.
Oh, he produced Hostel Part 2.
Oh.
Well, I mean, he was just a producer, but god damn it.
Still, he's associated with it.
Yeah. Fucking stupid pieces of shit. Alright. Next is Project Almanac. It's a sci-fi adventure film directed by Dean Israelite. And I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. There's no link for his name, and these actors' names I'm not familiar with. Let's look this up. The plot is the film will be presented in found footage. Jesus Christ. Yeah, because
that's done so well now. It's like they have done that to death.
Yeah.
Now.
I just recently watched a film I understand was made a couple of years ago called VHS. And I understand it's a series of shorts that all coincide with the main plot of the film. And it's about these group of delinquents who are hired to go and find this VHS type that this guy wants or something like that. And it all turns out to be involved in some sort of like supernatural horror stuff. I really didn't like the movie. Firstly, because, well, I mean, naturally, because the guys that you're supposed to be following are delinquents. I mean, hell, the first couple of minutes that you spend with them, you see, like, these guys are horrible assholes and they deserve to die. So,
which immediately throws you off the whole thing, doesn't make you feel anything for them, and you kind of want them to die.
Yeah. I mean, why should I care about these guys when they're pieces of shit?
Yeah, which is like the whole problem I had with Hostel.
Yeah. It looks like one. Well, wait. I didn't really even finish reading the description. The plot centers on the creation of a time machine. A group of friends discover plans to build a time machine and then build one themselves. They use the time machine initially to undo past mistakes, but eventually their goals turn towards their own gain and pleasure, but soon realize that changing the past has dire consequences in the future. I could see this being a really interesting idea.
Yeah.
A found footage time travel film.
Yeah.
It is produced by Michael Bay. So, I mean, at least it'll have a lot of money behind it.
Yeah, but at the same time.
Well, and granted, I mean, just because he's producing it, doesn't mean that he can make like a whole lot of decisions for it.
Yeah.
So who knows? Who was? Oh yeah, that's right. There's no link for the director's name, so I can't see what he's done. All right. Next is Jupiter Ascending. It's done by the Wachowski brothers. Well, Wachowski brother and sister, because one of them some time ago had a sex change.
Dun dun dun.
And I'm not joking about that either. It's starring Mila Kunis, Channing Tatum, Sean Bean. It's another sci-fi film. Did you see? God, what was the name of their last movie. I rented it. And I did a vlog on it too. Shit. Well, anyway, I saw their last movies that they did, which they only wrote. I think their friend who directed the V for Vendetta movie directed it. I think I'm not entirely sure. I'm probably wrong about that. Let me look up their names real quick because I would like to know what the damn movie was that I'm talking. It was Cloud Atlas.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet, but
I
I do remember
really,
you telling me about it.
yeah. I really did enjoy Cloud Atlas. I understand there were a lot of people who didn't. I know my brother didn't. He hated Cloud Atlas. So I might check this out when it comes out. I've liked just about quite a bit of what the Wachowskis have done. I loved their first three movies, which was Bound, The Matrix, and The Matrix 2. I loved V for Vendetta, and I really, really liked Cloud Atlas. So, all right. Well, next is oh wow, I'm not even sure I can really even pronounce this. Mortdecai. It's Mortdecai. It's an action crime film directed by David Koop. It has Johnny Depp, Ian McGregor, Olivia Munn, Gwyneth Paltrow, and Jeff Goldblum. Is an American screenwriter. Okay, he's an American screenwriter director. Blah blah blah. Is Snake Eyes the film I'm thinking of? Is that the? Yes. He directed the Nicolas Cage, or no, actually, he wrote the Nicolas Cage film Snake Eyes, which was a weird movie.
Okay.
He wrote The War of the Worlds. Oh boy. Oh boy. He wrote the screenplay for the fourth Indiana Jones movie.
Ugh.
Granted, I still haven't seen that movie.
I haven't either, but I haven't heard anything good about it.
Yeah. He wrote Men in Black 3, Premium Rush, The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3, Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, which was a prequel to the whole I'm Tom Clancy Jack Ryan series, which I didn't hear that much about. And, well, hell, I mean, from what I understand, I mean, a lot of the later Jack Ryan movies, and that's including the Ben Stiller, or not Ben Stiller.
Tom Cruise?
No, Ben Affleck. Were not very good. So, I don't know. I mean, it looks like a pretty strong cast, but I don't know. Next is Run All Night, directed by, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that name. It's another action movie starring Liam Neeson, and Ed Harris is in it. I'm looking up the director. Oh, God. He did the remake for House of Wax.
Ugh.
The one that had Paris Hilton in it.
Mm-hmm.
God, that movie was dumb. And this is an action movie. I don't know. Next is Seventh Son. Sergei Bedrov, starring Ben Barnes, Jeff Bridges, Julianne Moore, a lot of other people I haven't heard of. This is a fantasy film.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. It's got a pretty interesting... Oh, you know what? I think I've seen the trailer for this, where Jeff Bridges, he's like a monster hunter or something like that.
Huh.
The story centers around Tom Ward, a seventh son of the seventh son of, and his adventures as the apprentice of the spook. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that's a movie.
Yeah.
And then there's the SpongeBob SquarePants Sponge Out of the Water movie,
Yay.
which I wonder, like, why is this being made now? I mean, is SpongeBob still even on the air?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Believe it or not, kids are still watching it.
Okay. Well, I can believe it, because I have seen a few episodes, and yeah, I mean, it can be pretty damn funny at
Mhm.
times. Next up is 50 Shades of Grey. Who didn't see this shit happening?
Because it's Hollywood and they like to remake shit.
Well, this is another film that's based off of another book series.
Uh-huh.
Have you heard about this, the 50 Shades of Grey book?
Not that I can recall, but that doesn't mean that I haven't.
From what I understand about the book was that it originally started off as a fan fiction version of Twilight. Only it's more about it involves quite a bit of bondage and and stuff like that, and just like overly sexual and like for a great parody, somebody at a convention had John St. John, the man who does the voice of Duke Nukem, actually read a passage from 50 Shades of Grey in the Duke Nukem voice, and it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Good, and then we'll fuck. Yeah, it was like, yeah, wow, this book sounds really, really stupid.
Yep.
And then, next, I wonder if this is related to what I think it is. Yeah, there's a Poltergeist remake.
Goody.
Starring Sam Rockwell. I imagine he's gonna fucking dance in this because he dances in everything that he's in. I don't really care for Sam Rockwell all that much.
Me neither.
It's a horror film. Gil Keenan is the director. What has he done? Is that the movie I'm thinking of? He directed the film Monster House. He also wrote it, which I really like. Did you see Monster House, or have you not seen it?
Yeah, I did, actually.
Yeah. It was a good movie, so... Yeah.
Maybe it'll be one of those rare remakes to where it's actually good.
Well, and thankfully, I mean, Poltergeist, I mean, it's not like one of those, like, big, huge, movies. I mean, it was probably, well, I mean, not the first haunted house movies, but it was a haunted house movie that did have a lot of like pretty big effects in it.
And they did 3 films in it, and
yeah, and the first one was really the only good one, as far as I understand.
I don't know, the second one kind of has its moments.
Mm-hmm. I know the third one was the worst.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The third film was also, sadly, because as I understand it, the little girl who is in all the movies, she only made it about halfway through because she had some kind of a horrible terminal disease.
Yeah.
So, pretty depressing, but
Yep.
All right. Next is The Gunman. It's an action film directed by Pierre Morel. Jean-Patrick Maché, Pete Travis. Sean Bean is in it. It says it's an action movie. This feels more like it'd be a Western film.
Yeah.
It's based on a novel. An international operative named Martin Terrier, played by Sean Bean, wants out of the game so he can settle down with his longtime love. The organization he works for has other plans in mind, and he is forced to go on the run across Europe. Sounds pretty typical, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
Next is Jane Got a Gun, directed by Gavin O'Connor, starring Natalie Portman, Ian McGregor. I'm looking up the director, who doesn't really look like he's really done much of anything. I'm okay. It doesn't technically say what other films or even television shows he's done. Okay, that really doesn't help. Okay, let's try and get through these last ones because we're not really talking a lot here, and this is probably going on a little too long. What?
It's kind of hard to talk about a movie you haven't seen yet.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we can get like some ideas from what we read, but
yeah.
But at the same time, when you can't get much information off of a movie, it's hard to really figure out, like, okay, well, what is this movie even about? I don't know. Who's in it? I don't know. Who's directing it? I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. Why should I even get excited about this? All right. I'm just going to touch on the next couple of ones that might have some bit of interest and might, I don't know. There is going to be, I'm not sure if this is live action or if it's going to be animated. There's another Cinderella movie being made. It's being directed by Kenneth Branagh, who you may not know. He used to direct a whole lot of the live action Shakespeare films.
Oh, okay.
He he also directed the first Thor movie as well. I mean, he's done a lot of other stuff too.
Okay.
He was also in the second Harry Potter movie as well, starring Kate Blanchett, Lily James, Richard Madden, Helen Bonham Carter. I'm sure. Well, maybe she'll actually play a different character, or maybe she'll play the stereotype character. I don't know. It's family fantasy. Could be good. Could be good. You never know.
Could be. Could suck. Who knows?
Who knows? I don't know. Fuck you. I'm Batman. Next is In the Heart of the Sea, directed by Ron Howard. It's a drama with Chris Hemsworth, Benjamin Walker, Cillian Murphy, Tom Holland. In 1820, the whale ship E6 is crewed by Captain George Pollard, first mate, second mate, blah, 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 and cabin boy, blah, 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 blah. Just get to the damn point. During their voyage, the ship is struck by a large bull sperm whale. I'm looking for sperm! Ultimately, leaving its crew shipwrecked at sea for 90 days over 1,000 miles from home.
Moby Dick is getting his revenge, and he's pissed.
After the attack, the crew sails for South America and is forced to become cannibalistic. Oh, okay. Sounds more like it almost kind of turns into a horror movie, but okay.
Especially for more of that cabin boy.
Yeah. Yeah, but how can we? I mean, how can we possibly live with ourselves? There's only one answer. Eat Eric Roberts. Yes, of course. Nobody gives a shit about Eric Roberts. We'll eat Eric Roberts. And next on this list is Scouts versus Zombies. That's pretty self-explanatory. Comedy horror. It's probably not going to be that good. I don't care. Next is...
Zombies have kind of been done to death.
At this point, yeah, they kind of have. The Divergent series, Insurgent. Have you heard about the film The Divergent, Andy?
Not really.
All right. Well, I saw the trailer for it, I believe, while my sister and I went to the second Captain America movie. And I could not help but roll my eyes during this. Because it's a dystopian future. It feels so much like it's ripped off of, from better, science fiction stories. this is probably another series that was recently written, maybe like some odd years ago, that was kind of ripped off from the idea of the Hunger Games, where there are people that are split off into different units or clans or whatever, and they have to go through this test to determine, oh, like this will tell you like who you are and like what clan you belong to. This girl, she takes the test and finds out that, oh, you have no fear, you are the Divergent, and we must kill you because anybody who's different and who stands up for themselves, they will crush our system and blah blah blah. Like, that's fucking stereotypical bullshit, and I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I do kind of remember that. Yeah, I seen the trailer for it too, and even I was just kind of like, really? Okay. Whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. There are just so many fundamental things that just scream, "This is stupid. Why is this a thing?" But whatever.
Sadly, there's probably people out there that really like it's like, oh, she's a role model. I'm just like,
there are better role models.
Yeah.
There are much better role models.
Yeah.
All right, these are the last three I'm going to mention. There is a much longer list.
But we're kind of getting tired here.
Yeah. Oh God. Terminator Genesis.
Oh God.
That doesn't come out, I guess, until next summer. So I'm guessing Terminator prequel movie. Arnold's in it.
Well, of course. Who else
Arnold's
are they going
going
to
to
get
be
to
in
the
it.
Terminator? Who else are they supposed to get to play the Terminator?
Well, and bear in mind, I mean, he wasn't in the last one, and I never really even saw the last Terminator movie.
Yeah.
There's going to be
wasn't the last one kind of like a thing before they came up with the T-800s?
No.
Arnold Schwarzenegger was modeled after?
The last one actually took place like during the whole future thing, like while John Connor is an adult.
Yeah. Yeah, but weren't they like kind of like before they developed the more advanced ones, like what Arnold Schwarzenegger's was?
I haven't really seen it, so I can't really say.
Yeah. I think that was it, because I think like the big twist there at the end is that they actually face their first one.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, and the fact is that they kind of give away the whole thing in the trailer, which I'm sure was something that they wanted to, actually be a surprise in the movie when it turns out like, oh, this guy they've been walking around with, yeah, he's actually a Terminator.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the fourth Mad Max film that's being made?
No, I hadn't, but that doesn't shock me.
Well, and this one I understand has been in development for a long time, and it is being made. It's being directed by the same guy who made all the originals. It's starring Tom Hardy, who played Bane in Dark Knight Rises, as well as a lot of other people. I guess Mel Gibson is not going to be in this one, though he is going to be in the next Expendables movie.
Okay.
I did watch the last movie that he made, the Get the Gringo. He was good in it, but his performance was pretty much playing kind of an already existing character, so it wasn't really a new performance. But I mean, not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but Of course, Star Wars Episode 7 is mentioned in here, of course. We will just have to wait and see on that one. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed.
Me too. It's like, I have hopes for it. I have hopes. I just really hope they don't screw me over this time.
Yeah. And I guess that will actually be the last movie one of the last movies to come out next year. There's going to be a Kung Fu Panda 3. And then a Mission Impossible 5.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh, and looks like they're bringing back a lot of the original cast for from the last one.
Hmm.
Did you see the last Mission Impossible movie?
I haven't really seen any but the first one.
Ghost Protocol is really good.
That's what I've heard.
I like it. And well, this was something that a lot of other people mentioned too. They like it because Tom Cruise is not, like, oh, I'm the best of the best. I can do everything, but all by myself. Like, no, like it is about the team.
Yeah.
Him and his team. Like they're all, badasses in their own unique way. I was like, oh wow, they actually focus on the team as opposed to just Tom Cruise. Yeah.
The guy who tried to play a Nazi and couldn't even make that look tough because he's too pretty.
I haven't seen that movie, so I can't really say anything.
I haven't seen it either, but I just remember the trailer for it, and he was like a Nazi with an eye patch, and it was just like, yeah, and he's like supposed to be a tough heart. He's like, and I know, and I've seen actual pictures of the guy he's supposed to be playing historically, who did the Operation Valkyrie, who tried to actually kill Hitler, assassinate Hitler. There's no way Tom Cruise could pull that off. He's just too pretty looking.
Yeah.
He's just.
Well, hell, I mean, you saw Tropic Thunder.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, he. Oh.
Hey everybody, so really sorry to say, seems my editor kind of fucked me over and cut out the last couple of minutes of our discussion on the podcast, so kind of had to cut it short because I wasn't able to recover it. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed. Please let us know what you guys thought in the comments section, and we will see you guys next week for another episode of The Other People. See you then. Good night.